Our hearts beat to the city streets.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jamie if you are new here, and today's video is part of the St. Patrick's Day collaboration hosted by my friend Fiona over at Fiona in Her Kitchen. So as usual, I'm going to link the collab playlist down in the description box below, and as well as Fiona's channel, so don't forget to go and check her out and all the other creators. So in this video, I am making a roasted garlic and stout mac and cheese. And this recipe actually does come from one of these little books. It's actually called Irish Cooking. I picked this up years ago at the grocery store, you know, like the checkout aisle. Sometimes they'll stick these little books with like recipes in there, and there's like a lot of good stuff in here. But I ended up settling on the roasted garlic and stout mac and cheese because I got some picky eaters and we all like mac and cheese, so I wanted to give it a go. So let's get into today's video. All right, for this recipe, for our roasted garlic and stout mac and cheese, these are the ingredients that you're going to need. Over here, I've got some rotini pasta. I thought I had elbow noodles, but I guess I don't. So you can really just use whatever you have on hand. You're gonna want some olive oil or avocado oil, that's what I have. Some pepper, some whole milk, panko crumbs, salt. You know, since we're making an Irish dish, we're gonna go with the Irish cheese. I was actually supposed to get 2 of them and I only got 1, so we're just gonna have to make it work. But this is the Dubliner cheese by Kerrygold, and then we're using the Kerrygold pure Irish butter. You're gonna need a whole head of garlic because you're gonna be roasting this in the oven. I've never done that before, so I'm kind of excited to see how this is gonna turn out. You're gonna need some Irish stout, and the only thing that I could find was Guinness, so I grabbed that. I'm gonna need some flour and 2 cups of sharp cheddar cheese. Believe it or not, look at this bowl. I measured it out. You need 2 cups, and 2 cups is 16 ounces. I got my kitchen scale, I measured out precisely 16 ounces. That is a lot of cheese for 2 cups. Holy crap. Anyway, so this is what it's supposed to look like. I think I've made like 1 dish out of this. I completely forgot that I even had it. And it was actually a toss-up between, the mac and cheese and this potato and leek soup, which sounds so good. But I think I'm actually going to reserve this recipe for St. Patrick's Day, like actually on St. Patrick's Day. So hopefully I'll remember to do a video on this one. We're gonna go ahead and preheat our oven to 375, and we're going to butter a 4-quart shallow baking dish. So I gotta get that out real quick. And in case you're wondering what size is a 4-quart baking dish, this is a regular 9x13 Pyrex lasagna pan. And I'm looking at the, I don't know if my camera's gonna pick it up, but right there, it does say it's 3 quarts. So anything slightly bigger than your 9x13 pan. But I don't think I have anything bigger. So I think I'm just gonna have to roll with this, and hopefully it'll be fine. Okay, so you're gonna get a small baking sheet, and you wanna get some foil. That's probably a bit much. So you wanna put your head of garlic in the center of it, and then it says to drizzle some oil over top of it, about a tablespoon. Now you could measure it out, but we're just gonna do something like this. And then it says to crimp it shut. So we can just like leave it on the cookie sheet. Once the oven is preheated, which it is almost ready, we are going to put it in the oven for about 30 minutes, and then we're gonna take it out, and you gotta let it cool off for about 15 minutes. So I got my Dutch oven. It is steaming because we are boiling. So our water is ready. I'm gonna go ahead and add our pasta in here. I don't know about you, but I like to salt it because it makes it taste better. Just gonna add that in here and give her a good stir. All right, we're gonna let this boil for about 10 minutes. So I thought I was being really good with preparing my 6 tablespoons of that Kerrygold butter, but apparently we need to take 2 tablespoons and melt it into the microwave, add some salt, some panko crumbs, because that's gonna be our nice little topping for when we go to bake it in the oven. But now I gotta figure out how much 2 tablespoons is. I'm gonna say maybe that's 4 tablespoons because we're gonna need that for the mac and cheese. And we're gonna call that 2 tablespoons, and I'm gonna stick this in the microwave to melt it. All right, so we didn't need 30 seconds, 20 will do because now we are bubbling. All right, so now it says to add in, oh, you know what? I need a bigger bowl because we need 1 cup of the panko crumbs. Something like that. And then we need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, which I really don't have a whole lot in there, so I'm just gonna dump the rest of that in there. We're gonna say it's 1/4 teaspoon, guess I didn't need that. And we're going to pour in our melted butter, la 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 la. And I need a spoon. Suppose this will do. I wanna get all that nice butter in there. Yeah. Now we're gonna go ahead and mix it all up. Now we're just gonna go ahead and set this to the side. So I already pulled the garlic out of the oven. It sat for about 15 minutes. And so now we're supposed to just go ahead and, oh my gosh, apparently shred the tin foil. It says squeeze cloves into a bowl. Oh my God, it's hot. Still hot, still hot. Oh my God. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to let this sit for a little bit longer. Okay, I'm gonna let this sit for just a couple more minutes because this bottom part is like really too hot to handle. Okay, so it's been a little while, so I'm gonna see about trying to, there it is. You should just be able to squeeze this out. We're finally done. So now we're gonna go I'm gonna wash these hands and then I'm gonna go ahead and get a fork and we're just gonna mash this all up. I would say this is a pretty good paste. And my battery is fixing to die. I don't know how this is because it is a fresh battery. So now back to our Dutch oven. I'm just using the same pot that I used to cook the noodles in because I don't feel like dirtying another dish. So I've got this on medium heat. I'm just kind of letting it heat up right now. So there is our 4 tablespoons of butter. Not coming out. All right. This is pretty good and melted. Now it says to add a 1/4 cup of flour. Here is my thing when it comes to homemade mac and cheese is that adding a buttload of flour makes it taste really grainy. So I think I'm going to not do a 1/4 cup, do maybe like a couple of tablespoons, but definitely not a 1/4 cup. I don't know what it is, what I do wrong, but I'm telling you, every single time I try and make homemade mac and cheese, it's grainy and I can't stand it. I don't like it. So now it says to add a teaspoon of pepper, a teaspoon of salt, mix that in. This is where we're gonna mix in our stout, basically our Irish beer. It's about 3/4 of a cup. And we want to do 2 cups of whole milk here. So I'm just going to pour this in slowly. Add 1 more cup. Don't worry, the alcohol will cook out of this in case, you know, you're not familiar with cooking with alcohol. Okay, y'all, I am so sorry. I forgot we were supposed to add in the paste. Before we did the salt and pepper, we were supposed to add in our garlic paste. So basically, you do the butter, then the flour, then your garlic paste, and then the salt and pepper, and then the milk, and then the stout. So I don't know if there's like an actual order to this, so I'm sure it'll taste the same either way. It says to simmer until thicken, whisking constantly. This is gonna take a few minutes, but we'll be patient and just keep whisking away. Well, I'm not really sure, but I'm pretty sure this is pretty thick. It coats the back of my spoon just fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that's pretty good and thick. Remove it from heat, okay. So we're gonna slide it over here. Okay, changing sides of the stove. All right, so we just removed it from heat, and now we're gonna whisk in the cheeses. First, we're gonna add in our Kerrygold cheese. It says to do about a half a cup at a time till it is good and melty. So now we got our cheddar cheese. Go ahead and sprinkle that in there. Now it says to like put it in a separate bowl and mix the cheese sauce and the pasta together, but I'm just gonna mix the pasta right in here. This Dutch oven is big enough to do that. That's what we're gonna do. Of course, now we're all stuck together. Come on. Here we go. I'm gonna save some of that rotini for my chickens because they love noodles. So we're gonna go ahead and stir this up. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look how good this looks. I'm hoping that it tastes as good as it looks. Like I said, I don't really have a whole lot of luck when it comes to homemade mac and cheese. Always turns out like tasting grainy. Like the flavor is fine, but like it always turns out like with a grainy taste. Honestly, if you really wanted to, because like the last step on here now is to put our the panko crumbs on top of here and then bake the whole thing in the oven for about 40 minutes. If you wanted to, honestly, if you're using a Dutch oven, you could do it right in here. Save you from having to dirty another dish. If I don't have to dirty another dish, I'm not gonna. So we're just gonna go ahead and sprinkle some of this on here. Seems like a lot of crumb topping. Well, I guess probably didn't have to use all of it since I'm keeping it in the Dutch oven because I don't want to dirty another dish. Let's count. How many more times am I going to say dirty another dish in this video? My oven is on. It does not say to cover it. Obviously, you're not going to cover it because then this can't get golden brown. So it's going to go in the oven for 40 minutes. Then we're going to pull it out and let it hang out for 10. And then we will do the taste test. Woo. So we're gonna let this cool off for a while because it is super hot, bubbling, boiling, but there it is. Here it is. This is the roasted garlic and stout mac and cheese. Do you see all this gloriness? Little pot of gold. Anyway, we're gonna go in for a taste test. I haven't even tried it yet. Megan has tried it and she said it was so good. She gobbled it all up. What I kept talking about was when I was having a hard time making like homemade mac and cheese and it was just like really grainy and everything, but she said that she didn't get that gritty, grainy taste in this. So let's go ahead and take a taste test. Ooh, that is good. I don't know if I'm getting a little bit of a grainy taste though, or if it's the roasted garlic. I do taste the garlic and that is such good flavor. It's possible that what I might need to be doing is, what I might need to do when I'm letting like the milk and the butter and the flour and everything, when I'm like letting it cook, maybe I just need to like let it cook longer. This is still really good. All right, y'all, that'll do it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you haven't done so already. Share with somebody you love. Don't forget to check out that playlist and Fiona over at her channel. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.